Welcome to a few moments together on the Parsha. The Shabbos, we have the privilege of beginning the third of the Chamisha Chumshei Torah, Chumash Vayikra, with Parshas Vayikra. Of course, Vayikra begins with some fascinating repetitions, which, if delved into, give us an insight into what Torah's Kohanim is all about. The book of Vayikra speaks about the Karbanos, and the majority of the 613 mitzvahs are mentioned in Vayikra. Now, when I say the majority, I don't mean more than half, but I mean if you go through each of the Sfarim of the Chamisha Chumshei Torah, Chumash Vayikra has the most number of mitzvahs that there are in any other sefer in the Chamisha Chumshei Torah. And Vayikra begins with a pasuk and a second pasuk, the first two psukim, which speak about certain forms of speech. For instance, the first pasuk says, Vayikra el Moshe, Vayedaber Hashem Elov. Hashem called to Moshe, and then he spoke to him. So already you have two words. And the pasuk continues that after it says Vayikra el Moshe Vayedaber Hashem Elov Me'ol Moed Lamor, saying. So you have Vayikra and Vayedaber and Lamor, and then in the second pasuk in the parsha it repeats two of the three words Daber el Bnei Yisrael v'omarto aleihem. Speak to the Bnei Yisrael and say to them. What is the Torah trying to emphasize when Hashem tells Moshe to speak, Daber el Bnei Yisrael, ve'omarto aleihem, and say to them? What is the difference between speak to them and say to them? Rav Shamshua Farel Hirsch, in his beautiful parish on the Torah, explains the following. The word Daber, Dibur, means straight, strong, concise statements. For instance, the Aseres HaDibros, the 10 Commandments. The Aseres HaDibros are straightforward, straight commandments, which entail a world of knowledge, which there are Masechtas in our Talmud which cover so many of the teachings of the words of the Torah. So Daber are Dibros, statements, while Omarta is clarifications and explanations and discussions which will slowly speak out and explain all the laws of the Torah. And so Chumash Vayikra begins with the Daber el Bnei Yisrael v'omarto aleihem. On the one hand, you have to give the Chamisha Chumshei Torah, which are Daber, straightforward, but ultimately v'omarto aleihem, explain to them through all of Shas, through all of the Torah Sheba'al Peh, and say to them the clarity of what the purpose of the Daber is, the Aseres HaDibros. And notice, the world was created with amaros. And isn't it interesting that all the rabbis who speak in the Gemara are called amoraim, because they are explaining in detail all the teachings that are coming out of the Dibros of the statement. So Chumash Vayikra needs an investigation and a clarity, and Rav Shamshua Farel Hirsch's beautiful explanation of the change of words is exactly on the mark to help us understand what the teaching of Chumash Vayikra is all about. So let's pay close attention to each and every one of those things. And of course, when we speak about the upcoming Yom Tov of Pesach, we speak about the Haggadah, the telling over, which has in it all the Daber and all the Emor, all the strong empirical statements with the fleshing out of all the meanings by the rabbis of the Gemara and the Talmud. Our Torah is so vast and so beautiful and so clarified in terms of our relationship with the mitzvahs that were given to us throughout the entire Torah and Torah Shebiksav and Torah Sheba'al Peh. So this Shabbos, we have the privilege of beginning that wonderful Chumash Vayikra, and of course we're all involved in the preparations of the upcoming Yom Tov of Zaman Cheruseinu. And remember, we're going to speak about it a little bit next week. There is a discussion amongst all the congregations, when is the real Shabbos HaGadol? That's not my topic today, but there are many, many people who give what is called the Shabbos HaGadol Drasha on this week's Shabbos, and I urge everyone to participate and get involved in the study of our Torah, which illuminates the difference between Daber and Emor, and speak to them, the Jewish people. I want to take this opportunity to wish everyone a wonderful upcoming preparation for this wonderful Chag Kosher V'Sameach. When we have the preparation, sometimes we think of it as being a responsibility, and it takes away from the Simcha. Chas v'Shalom, that would be a terrible thing to take it away, because the real purpose of Pesach and its freedom and all the preparations is to bring us more and more Simcha. That's some of the ideas of the Daber and the V'or Marta. So everyone should have a wonderful Shabbos, the Simcha-filled Shabbos, a relaxing one in which we prepare in the following week for the upcoming Chag Kosher V'Sameach. Shabbat Shalom U'Mevorach.